Ukrainians are courageous. We're not afraid of creating something brand new that nobody did before. We invented the first aircraft, helicopter, gas lamp, postal index, borscht, tram, CD, and little songs. The young and active entrepreneurs have all potential to grow and create new ideas. They can strengthen Ukraine economy and have positive impact on its future. That's why the Ministry of Economy, back in 2022, has founded the grant program Vlasna Sprava, your own business, supporting small businesses, coffee shops, jewelry shops, beauty salons, medical services, military ammunition. A lot of businesses can grow thanks to our support. 19,000 applicants received funding, created 38,000 new jobs, and paid 2.6 billion hryvnia taxes. Now there's a separate area where they are eligible to receive up to 1 million hryvnias to grow their business. Results of these 2 years are impressive. Every embroidered shirt, candle, flower bouquet, linen, ceramic plate, all of that is an input in contribution to a strong economy. This is the third grant-based program, Vlasna Sprava continues to work, and maybe your next idea will make the world better. Thank you. And now, Prime Minister of Ukraine, Denis Shmyhal. Dear Julia, Vice Prime Minister, Alexander, Vice Speakers, Ambassador, colleagues from USAID, dear brave and courageous and responsible small and medium businesses who took upon themselves greetings on this event dedicated to the second year of Vlasna Sprava initiative. Dear colleagues and friends, 2 years ago, Ukrainian businesses have gone through one of the most critical moments in the large-scale war with Russia. Summer 2022, our economy was in shock. The damages from Russian aggression exceeded $26 billion. The GDP per capita was cut in three. Sources have been disrupted and logistics have been disrupted. A number of experts predicted catastrophe, but we stood this test, we adapted and continued our fight. Thanks to heroic defenders, everyone who is defending our country, but also thanks to Ukrainian businesses who demonstrated incredible resilience. Back in summer 2022, we saw the first signs that the economy adapted to the military shocks, the war shocks. The surveys and businesses demonstrated great expectations for the future, so we decided to create another effective tool for supporting entrepreneurs is the non-refundable grants, which has become the foundation of Yerobota and Vlasna Sprava. I'm proud to have stood at the foundation of this initiative, thanks to all the colleagues who implemented it, Julia and you personally. So we set three simple tasks. First, to provide people the resources to implement their business ideas, to open their own beauty salon, coffee shop, or workshop, or expand existing capabilities, to expand their portfolio, to offer new goods and services. The state has started to helping entrepreneurs even more. 19.5 thousand people have become partners in this. They received over 4.6 billion hryvnias and paid 2.6 billion hryvnia of taxes revenues. Our next objective is to create jobs, which is the key condition of providing grants in Vlasna Sprava. We decreased unemployment, we decreased social risks, we provide opportunity to make a living and provide for the family. The program participants have created 230,000 new jobs, and this number is growing. Our third number is to change the structure of Ukraine economy and reinforce the small medium enterprises as the backbone of the economy. They are the backbone and the factor, the driver of economic growth. We plan to grow the VAT, the value added up to 64%. This is a part of these initiatives. Deregulation, digitalization, access to preferential loans, and many other programs are also part of these initiatives. There are already positive deliverables. The small and medium enterprises are rebounding, recovering, much more active than all other segments. If in the first year of large-scale war, only 57% of small and medium enterprises were working full-scale, by the second year it was more than 85%. It's a very important positive indicator. From April 2023, the veteran-based component of Vlasna Sprava, we see it as not only in the context of economy, but also in the context of respect and support for our defenders, creating favorable environment for them. About 1,000 veterans and their families have now become part of this grant program. 480 million hryvnia worth of grants have been provided. Created by Ukrainian defenders is already a brand. It's becoming more and more popular, and after our victory, veteran components will grow exponentially, because after demobilization, veterans are coming back home and the product is ready for them, and veterans will be ready to share their experience. It's extremely important component in this. The grant program, Vlasna Sprava, has been constantly adapting to the needs of Ukrainians. We're open this opportunity to fund non-refundable grants up to 25 years of use for wineries, for families of defenders, for entrepreneurs who work in the war zone. And this is not the last positive change. We will continue to modernize our policy to support them. Now the program Vlasna Sprava has become part of the presidential complex policy made in Ukraine. It's a long-term priority. It's relevant during the war. It will be relevant during the post-war recovery, and as the economy of our country grows. So we are incredibly thankful and appreciative for Ukrainian businesses for everything that you have done for our victory. The contribution of entrepreneurs in retaining Ukrainian state is historic and unprecedented. We're so thankful to our partners who help us fund the Vlasna Sprava program, in particular USAID, that has been providing resources within the program of competitive Ukrainian economy. Thank you so much for our partners. During one of the most extreme tests in our history, we value the solidarity of the American people and American partners. We are confident to win this war together, to reach fair and just peace. We will rebound, we will rebuild, and take our dignified place in the family of countries of the world. Thank you for you, and glory to Ukraine. Thank you. And now, one more keynote speaker, Vice Prime Minister, Minister of Economy of Ukraine. Dear grantees, dear colleagues, for me, the anniversary of Vlasna Sprava is like a meeting of alumni. You ask each other, so what's been going on, what are your successes, what are your achievements, and also share some news. During all of our trips around Ukraine, I started to look even deeper into our small towns, small cities, through our communities, through the stories that you, our grantees, are sharing with us. Anna from Bila Tserkva, Andrei from Sumy, who created a cafe as a railway car. Our colleague Vasil, who has arranged a great coffee shop. I remember that meeting. Alexei from Chernihiv, who created a floral shop. And of course, Kramatorsk, where we've visited just 3 weeks ago. And it's very important that we're here in the dialogue. We want to improve this program even more. Our Prime Minister has just announced the latest improvements that the government has approved just last week. It's about the youth, it's about the families of our fallen heroes. And we want to improve this program even more. So while I will be talking to you, I want you to also look at this QR code and follow this link and answer the question, how do you see the improvement of our grant program furthermore? About the amounts available, availability or eligibility for the grant second time. So we appreciate your feedback so that it will give us, the government, the knowledge will be to inform our decisions how to improve our economy even more. So we have some numbers to showcase, to be proud of. Some of the figures the Prime Minister just announced: almost 20,000 winners of the grant program, jobs created, 38,000 jobs created. That was one of our main objectives. The initial objective was to create jobs. Tax revenues into the budget. It's very important for us to continue this trend. And we don't aim at not providing grant to anyone. Our objective is to provide this opportunity to anyone who wants to grow their businesses. And we see some leaders from our regions, the Kiev region, the Lviv region, the Rivne region. We want to have more leaders among Ukrainian businesses. And I also want to tell you what we like is that the most of the winners of our programs are women. So give a round of applause. In 2023, in spring, we decided back then to reevaluate our program to add an important component, grants for veterans and their families. We have about 1,000 winners in this, 2,500 jobs created, and up to 1 million hryvnias of a grant is eligible for you if you join forces with other businesses. And I remember, as one of our veterans said, he said, now I have the sense what to fight for, because my wife is part of the economy. She started her own coffee shop, her own business, and we get incredibly inspired by such stories. We want to improve this program even more and provide even more tools for you. Also, together with our partners, this year we added another component for women entrepreneurs, for the women leaders of factories and facilities in processing. So this is grant program Stvori, Create. We have 20 winners who will receive up to $15,000 for their own business. And I wanted to share a story for you of Natalia from Pokrovsk. We came to her facility there, and it's a story of resilience and victory. And it's a very inspiring story for me personally as well. So here's a story from Pokrovsk. We were so happy to win this, and we received to apply because we need to move to grow further. We need to create and show an example for the young people how you can stand the test that others break against. I'm an activist. I believe in the brighter future. I hope for our victory, and this faith is nurturing my heart and gives me a motivation to work further. Thank you so much. Thank you, Natalia from Pokrovsk. It's a beautiful woman who is managing a big production facility. And this example shows another very important area is production and processing. Because there are no commodity-based economies that are getting rich by just trading commodities. So that's why processing is as part of the industry that is very important for GDP, and all the programs that I'm talking about, they are united in this branded policy made in Ukraine. It's it's a number of tools that businesses can use. It's a set of loan programs, the well-known 579, where applicants can be eligible to 150 processing industry grants for up to 8 million, micro grants, cashback for agricultural equipment, the mortgage program, and of course the national cashback program that started at the moment in beta testing mode, starting from September 2nd. We already have 700,000 of these cards issued. 700,000 people created their online card and joined the system, which says that people will be getting assistance from the state, but very focused one, only for procuring Ukrainian-made goods, both consumer goods and food. So you can follow this QR code and learn how to join our program, because we understand right now whenever you buy Ukrainian goods and services, you support the Ukrainian economy, support the army, because 40% of the cost of Ukrainian-made goods and services return to the budget. So it's very important. While the war is at least still going on, we want to help all of us and help the entrepreneurs to create tax revenues, to create jobs. We have updated the program, and Dennis has mentioned already that there will be an opportunity to support young entrepreneurs up to 150 million hryvnias worth of support. So what's important, if you take this grant, you can also take our standard grant, 250,000, but you have to create jobs, because that's the main idea of the program. We have expanded the category of grant recipients, as well as area of so wineries. We mentioned that, but these are small wines, so non-strong wines. So we want grantees in many areas, many industries. So I jumped over the slide about offices made in Ukraine, but during the panel discussions you will hear the head of the employment center. By the end of this year, the objective is to open 101 employment centers all over Ukraine. Yeah, 101, almost 20 or more than 20 have already opened. These are a small office in the employment center where you can get all the information that I've just said and more by an interview, filling out the survey, because we want to help everyone who wants to work. Either you work or you fight. That's the motto and the philosophy of our governmental policy and economic policy, of course. So what kind of changes should be in the programs? People who receive grants have to receive an opportunity to take another grant. Well, Dennis will need to change the CMU decree for that. Well, I know that it's a big demand, what we hear from the regions, because small businesses have a tough time at the moment. But small businesses are a backbone of our economy. We want the share of small and medium business to grow, because whenever they say about resilience of Ukrainian economy, it's basically about those people. We want to help them as much as we can. We want them to grow. And small entrepreneurs, you see, there are some of them, very small entrepreneurs, future entrepreneurs are in the room. And our grant program is time to create our own products and services. Now, the keynote speech of greeting, Bridget Brink, the ambassador of the USA in Ukraine.
be here today to celebrate the second anniversary of the Vlasna Sprava program. Thank you, Mr. Prime Minister, Ms. Deputy Prime Minister, Deputy Speaker, and all of you for being here. I had such a good time last year that I was very excited to come back. Yeah, thanks. So there are many things that strike me as particularly remarkable about Ukraine. It's, of course, the bravery of your people, of all of you, as you fight for your freedom in the face of Russia's horrific attacks. It's the way the country that has come together to support your victory, and I see this in every single person in your country. And it's the sheer will and innovation that you have drawn upon that reflect a nation of entrepreneurs. And more than 2.5 years into Russia's brutal war, you continue to show remarkable determination defending your freedom. And I just salute you for that. Every day I feel it too, being in Kyiv and knowing throughout the country. And I just applaud and we support you from America. We Americans know very much and very deeply the fight for freedom, and we're very proud to be standing with you to fight against Russia's illegal aggression and to come out with a stronger democracy and a prosperous economy. And there's no place like the economy where we have seen Ukraine's innovative spirit. Ukraine, yes, it's amazing. Ukrainian businesses have shown incredible adaptability, continuing to operate near the front lines, under constant shelling, or adapting to other locations across the country, creating new businesses and hubs in every city. And during the last 2.5 years, more than 700 businesses have been created. And I love that statistic. More than half of those have been created by women. I think this is great. Yeah. Despite continuous blackouts and near constant attacks on critical infrastructure, you have not only kept your businesses alive, but have also expanded into new markets, continuing to employ pre-invasion employees, but also employment for other Ukrainians, and ensured Ukraine's economy not only functions, but thrives. We've seen this also in U.S. businesses here, which we are also very proud to support from the U.S. Embassy. Ukraine continues to serve as a flourishing environment for incubators and startups. Impressively, Ukrainian startups tripled in combined enterprise value in 2022 and grew from 3.2 billion to 25 billion in just 3 years, helping Ukraine's economic ingenuity from the ground up. And programs like the Vlasna Sprava program that we are here to celebrate today have assisted with Ukraine's economic recovery. Many of those from the Vlasna Sprava program were brave enough to start businesses without any prior experience in the midst of this brutal war. In the program's 2-year existence, it has received over 50,000 applications, issued 19,100 grants, and as the Prime Minister has said, created an estimated 38,000 jobs, generating over $63 million in tax revenue for the government of Ukraine. That's quite remarkable. Vlasna Sprava and its beneficiaries demonstrate Ukraine's entrepreneurial spirit. And one example is Dmytro. I love the examples from the Deputy Prime Minister. And this is an entrepreneur from the city of Poltava, a city exemplifying Ukrainian ingenuity in the face of Russia's recent attacks, for which I am so sorry to see. Seeing a rising need within his community, Dmytro opened a licensed rehabilitation center dedicated to treating people with musculoskeletal issues, many of whom sustained injuries from Russian strikes. And with the support of a Vlasna Sprava grant, Dmytro's center has doubled its space, hired 7 staff, and expanded its range of services to include specialized care for these particular issues. Since receiving the grant, the center has treated over 2,000 patients, and they are now searching for even more space to accommodate their growing demand. Small and medium-sized businesses and the entrepreneurs like Dmytro who create them are the backbone of Ukraine's economic activity and employment. Ukraine's economic recovery will be led by the private sector, which must bolster the country's economic strength, foster innovation, and generate high-value employment opportunities that will enable Ukraine to withstand these external pressures, invest in Ukraine's economic recovery, and build a prosperous future that Ukrainians deserve. The United States supports small and medium-sized businesses, and since Russia's full-scale invasion, we have, through our program at USAID, assisted approximately 28,000 small and medium-sized enterprises in key sectors, helping to create or retain nearly 158,000 jobs in these sectors and securing more than $151 million in financing from small and medium companies and attracting more than $220 million in investments. It's critical that we continue to support Ukraine's entrepreneurs by providing them with training opportunities, facilitating access to financing, creating linkages to global markets, and crafting an open and transparent business operating environment that allows and drives innovation and creativity. We stand with Ukraine, and we will continue to support Ukrainian entrepreneurs and businesses to help you stand strong and to build the future that you are fighting for, one that's based on a strong democracy, prosperous economy, integrated into Europe. Дякую, thank you, and Slava Ukraini!
Також запрошую до вітального слова.
Also invite for the keynote speech, greeting Alexander Kornienko, first Deputy Speaker of the Parliament. Dear Prime Minister, dear First Vice Prime Minister, Your Excellency, Madam Ambassador Brink, and of course all my colleagues. I'm proud to say, because when I was 21 years old in 2005, I registered as private entrepreneur and started my own business. I was in the printing business. Remember, if you still remember what printing was, you're probably my age. But it was not so easy to get 150,000 hryvnias, and there was no such available grant program that would help us to get affordable loans, 579, or if you have a capability to get a bigger loan. So now, despite the very difficult situation where we found ourselves, we are very thankful and appreciative to our partners for an opportunity to having this program.
For your support and for support of your country to Ukraine in this very, very hard moment. Дякуємо американському народу за підтримку. Нагода нашого зібрання дуже важлива.
veterans who service hub. We are doing everything to create more jobs, to make sure that their brothers and sisters in arms can get back from the front line and start their businesses. And that's the first story that I learned about. They actually opened that station, and they have a charging station there for electric cars. So apart from creating jobs, it brings taxes to the budget, and it allows people to live, not just to survive. And the most important thing is that entrepreneurs give Ukrainians hope that we will get there, we will survive, we will win, and we will live in the new country, in the new brave country within the borders of 1991, and we'll be able to build our future. So, congratulations and glory to Ukrainian businesses and glory to Ukraine. Hi everyone, my name is Yuri Marchenko, and I'm happy to welcome you at the second anniversary of Vlasna Sprava. You know better than me what it is. That's a unique program from the Ministry of Economy where everyone can get a grant to start or develop their business. And more than 90,000 grants were issued for the 2 years. That means we have 19,000 stories, success stories. And congratulations. These are your stories, and just look around. We have 10 different examples, 10 cases, success stories, and just don't go there right now. You can use the break for it. So what's going to happen is we're going to work until the evening. We will have discussion panels. We'll have a public interview. An interesting lecture, and also we already had a couple of welcome words, and I know, Mr. Prime Minister, that your schedule is pretty tight, so thank you very much for visiting us, and I know you have a lot to do. Thanks a lot, I really appreciate that. And now we have a minute to move things around for the public interview, and we'll continue after that. So I know we have lots of people here related to fashion industry, clothing industry. We know that's not easy, and we have Ksenia Schneider. She has a podcast that is called Not Easy Industry, and Yulia Sviridenko will be here with us. Actually, this is a very important event because this is the first time I'm wearing jeans at an event like that. Well, Ksenia give me an example. So thank you very much for being here to record a podcast in such a format. I'm a bit nervous, but that's fine. It's okay, let's start. Well, here's my first question about Ukrainian brands. What kind of brands do you prefer, and how do you choose them? Well, speaking about business clothing, well, more than 90% that's Ukrainian brands. And well, first, we're trying to promote Ukraine diplomatically. When we talk about our military and former military who launched their own businesses. And my clothing is a part of my Ukrainian identity. And when people ask, what do you wear? What are you wearing right now? And I'm proud to say that these are Ukrainian brands. And this is a high quality brand. And after the war started, I realized that I don't have the moral right when I do have an option to buy a Ukrainian brand. I can't just allow myself to buy something different because Ukrainian businesses pay taxes, and because of that we have a possibility to fund our army, and we talk about that every time we talk to our partners. But the fact that Ukrainian businesses are the ones who support Ukrainian army, that just makes me choose Ukrainian brands. I have lots of them. And it's interesting that people send me direct messages in Instagram like, can you send me some names? And it's great that there are lots of people who work in the sewing industry, and we try to support them. Just want to add that when I want to buy something, I always think about whether it's from a Ukrainian brand. And I try to find something, whether it's shoes or makeup or anything. If there are no options and I can choose a foreign product, but it's a trend. I think the majority of people here have at least something made by Ukrainian manufacturers. Yeah, it's a global, like a national trend. I think it will continue even after the war because we're trying to change our approaches. There are lots of examples of Ukrainian brands that grew up 2 or 3 times after the war started, so the war is not an excuse for them. It motivates them to grow, to develop. And it's not just with the light industry. I can see the same thing happens with other industries, and we had a economy decline 30%. That's like a historical anti-record, and since 2023 businesses started to recover. When we launched our grant program, we thought, will businesses believe in the public partnership? Will they really want to create jobs, take responsibility for it, and develop their production under shellings, under missiles? And I think what we see right now is that Ukrainian businesses are really resilient. We heard people say, well, you come here to Ukraine and you open your businesses because of cheap labor. Well, it's not just about being cheap, it's about being flexible, and we're open. And I really want our government officials to wear Ukrainian clothes. And we really need to promote Ukrainian products because this is what our strength is. Yeah, it's not just about government officials. I want everyone, every Ukrainian to understand that Ukrainian brands are actually cool, and we have to support our fellow countrymen. Just want to ask you a couple of questions about Vlasna Sprava program. Can you share something else, something that you missed, something that you failed to say, that you're about to say? We didn't actually believe that people will have such a strong response. And you mentioned yourself. My deputy, Tatiana, was at your podcast, and she told about that. We didn't actually believe that the government can really contribute something. And we have people from Ashak Bank. That was the only bank that trusted us, that believed in us, and they became our partner. So it was our only partner at the time. So we had lots of doubts. But we did launch our program, Vlasna Sprava. We upgraded it and we will develop it. And what's interesting, the ministry and the Ministry of Economy always focused on large businesses because that means lots of taxes. But I think during the war, that was the right thing to do, to focus on smaller businesses and medium businesses, because there are lots of courageous stories behind it. There was a really powerful story. We visited Kramatorsk to visit some enterprises, like machine building enterprise, and what I expected was like some boring equipment, production processes. And Yulia told me, do you want really something really cool for your soul? And she opened the door and I saw some sewing ladies, like 20 or 30 ladies, and they produce Ukrainian brands. I'm not going to mention any names because of the NDA. And these are like really well-known brands. You know them. I know that you're eager to learn about that, but I'd just say that it's 3 or 4 Ukrainian brands belonging to the mass markets, and I just rushed to the market to buy a blouse. Because these people, they still work, and they work not far from the front line, they pay taxes. And these are the people that receive our grants. And during the lunchtime, we went to a pizza restaurant. And you know these stories, like one of the stories was one of the pizza restaurants was destroyed by a missile. And that was the one. And I asked them, how did you recover? And he said that like France helped us, and then the government provided to us 250,000 hryvnias. And I'm like, yeah, that's us. That's actually us. So we have lots of stories like that. And despite all this suffering, we're so full of hope in our victory, and the whole enterprise, whole entrepreneur community really hopes that it will continue, and we receive so much positive energy from you. Thank you very much for doing this. That's incredible. And I'll just add that apart from giving money that we all need, you give hope. When we received the grant, we saw people filled with enthusiasm, and they were really happy that the government believes in them, because apart from money, we receive motivation. And I think you guys will agree with me. And can I ask you a question? We have people from different industries. Can I ask you a question? What are the biggest challenges that you encounter in your work? Maybe you tell us how we can help as a government. Maybe you lack some support, some tools for Ukrainian businesses to continue to strive and export their products. That's a challenging question. The list is really long. Of course, we need people. We need employees, and it's really a big challenge. And if you read my Instagram, I always talk about that in my Instagram account. We need different kind of employers, packaging, warehouses, and we can expand our capacity, but we really need people for that, and it's challenging. In our coordination system, we have a job center, and if you're not aware of that, we have a voucher program. People can apply for that. We give around 30,000 hryvnias, up to 30,000 hryvnias for training. You can get, you can advance your skills. And we also have professional training centers. There are technical colleges in the educational system, but we have our own centers that train welders and sewers, and we are ready to change the curriculums right now because we do understand that it should be fast. The employees should be trained fast. We can't just wait for 5 years to have enough employees. 6 to 9 months programs, for example, third level welders, they train for 9 months. And we just talk to monitoring boards or supervisory boards. We talk to them and we tell them to reformat the whole process. And we also have lots of veterans coming back from the front line. Businesses are often not ready to accept veterans just because they can't prepare an inclusive workplace for them. And I'll just use that opportunity to say that we have a program up to 100,000 hryvnias. We can help you adapt your workplace for people with disabilities. If you need an elevator or some other tools and equipment, businesses who are ready to employ veterans and they don't know what to do are ready to work with you. And that's a very important mission for us. So veterans are a huge power, because lots of enterprises, they talk about the lack of employees, lots of qualified employees. And it doesn't correspond to the situation on the market. And we are trying so hard to train them and to adapt workplaces. What about the energy sector? Are you ready for the winter? Well, we were ready since the last blackout. Well, we have generators. They can't handle all of the equipment, but at least we adapted our system. When there are no power cuts, we employ certain equipment. So I'll say just we adapted. And also there is a single shop in Kiev that is not connected to generators. The program 579 was mentioned, and we are employing this program. We have representatives of banks. We have Oshad here, and they say if you need equipment, that cost more than 9 million hryvnias, and they can help you with that 34.5%. That's their rate, and they can help you with purchasing power generation equipment. So energy is another pressing issue, apart from lacking human resources, because without energy, businesses won't be able to fulfill contracts, and it's just a vicious circle here. Yeah, I can do that. I can do podcasts. I have some skills here. Can I ask you something? Can you give some advice to our guarantors? We've seen the stats. There are businesses who ask questions how to scale their businesses. Maybe you have a couple of advices, like how do you persevere? How do you overcome challenges? And how do you focus on your goal, on your dream? That's an awesome question. I mean, I just wish I could give you a specific advice, but I just think the dream is enough motivation. If you really know what you want, you have a purpose, challenges won't be a problem. That's just an experience. That brings you experience. So just be focused on your goal. I think that's the key. If you know what you want, that's just enough. What would be your advice for creative people? Should they be engaged in creative processes and do business? Or these are two different things? Well, the best scenario is like when you have like an operations manager or something. Well, yeah, I mean, that's possible. It's challenging, but it's possible. I know your history, your brand's history, and it was interesting for me because you changed your approach after the war started. And despite the horrible effects of the war for the state, for the economy, you need to keep looking for opportunities for growth. And even today's event is just another opportunity for us to talk about tools that have to be provided by the government, because Ukraine should be a reliable and predictable partner. We need to respond to all pressing requests from businesses, because businesses, they just so disappointed. I know, I get it, and we respect you so much. And we just call ourselves the Ministry of a Real Economy Sector, and we think that, I mean, businesses are investors, and we want to respond to you. We do understand that you're a backbone of our economy. Who should we call for feedback? Well, we have Tatiana Berezhna. Tatiana, can you please stand up? Well, she's a deputy minister. And we also launched, we'll talk about that later, we launched a web portal that's called Pulse. And it will track different problems with like governmental agencies. Yeah, I'm not going to read the list because you will guys start applauding in the wrong spot. But the policy that we're promoting has lots of tools, and it can be more. We announced a cashback program, and that's just the beginning. 800,000 cards Yeah, actually, your products can have a cashback program too. 10% of cashback that are sent to your card, bank card. We have 800,000 cards registered, and please join us. We want Ukrainian brands to be supported because like just 40% of funds gets back to the budget. So when you buy Ukrainian products, you really support Ukrainian army, Ukrainian defense. Apart from other things, tell us more about EU grants. Well, there are different grant programs, and we're trying to bring them together to make sure that Ukrainian enterprises have additional opportunities. We have a really interesting program. It's like a credit program. It's a loan-based program, but you need to have a business plan so you can apply to different financial organizations, and EU decreases loan risks for Ukrainians. There are 7.9 billion euro allocated for that, and that's a huge sum of money. But what you need to focus on, what you need to work on, is the quality of the projects, and like bankable projects, to be more precise. And there should be calculations and details, and you'll get the loan. But these are bigger programs, like more than 10 million euros, and we for smaller projects will have bank loans also. But we will work with banks and job centers, and we will be there. I just want to make this conversation interactive, and when I learn that there will be grant receivers in the audience, I really want to make it useful for you guys. Without promoting your brand, without the right marketing strategy, it's really hard to move on, even if you're a genius or if you're a good engineer. You need to understand how to market your products, and we'll have a lecture for that. Besides, we'll talk about financial opportunities from banks and also different training opportunities from job centers, because we do understand employees and human resources is the key.
So the main idea of providing grants is the possibility to show those Ukrainians who left Ukraine abroad that there are great opportunities to start their businesses in Ukraine. We are expecting them. We are ready to get them back. We're ready to help them. We don't forget about them, because 6 million Ukrainians abroad is a huge number of people, and they are all potential Ukrainian entrepreneurs, scientists, artists. So our program is a signal to Ukrainians who live abroad that they are expected, and we're ready to help them. Great, thank you. So we almost exceeded all of our time. We have to wrap this panel discussion, because that's my first experience like in this kind of panel discussion on the stage. Thank you, and I wish you a fruitful work. I'm happy that the Prime Minister have heard your request to get the grant one more time. We will be working on that, and we work with Tatiana so that the frontline territories have even more opportunities, so that people don't leave and stay there, because loan programs do not always still work in frontline territories because of the high risk. Where loans don't work, our grant programs work well. So I wish you fruitful work. Thank you for having confidence in our state, taking this grant, creating jobs. You're doing an incredible job. Thank you for inspiring us and for listening to us. Thank you. Thank you. As I promised, it's going to be a multi-format event. We will have a panel discussion now. But let's have an arrangement. You will give a round of applause each time that I announce a new participant to this panel discussion. Tatiana Berezhna will be moderating, Deputy Minister of Economy of Ukraine. Andrei Remezov will be there, who's head of Department of Entrepreneurship. Yulia Shevchak, State Employment Service. Shevchak, Shadban, and Larisa Zalewska, head of the city program Competitive Ukraine Economy. Thank you so much. So, discussion panel. Greetings once again, everyone. It's a great event. I hope you like it as well. And I'm especially happy to be in this great atmosphere of entrepreneurs sharing their views, sharing their stories. It's a driving force behind our country. It's September 9th, 2024 today, and there was a day, June 16th, 2022, that I received this message. Dear Tatiana, please join online meeting around the grant program for small and medium enterprises. This message changed my life. Thank you, Julia, for being part of this program that united 19,000 people, even more. And I hope that there are people online watching us, people who received grants, those who will receive those grants will join our discussion. Then I had this online meeting and I saw Yulia Zhevchak there, and I saw Natalia there, Rosa there, this fantastic team, Alexander Palazov, our director of our department, who was writing this ministerial decree that created this. After some time, this program started working. We saw first wins, and then Yulia said, "You know, Tatiana, it should be more sexy. It should be more attractive. That people apply more, look well, so that people would want to join our community." And we realized that there are things that we can improve. There are things that we can do even better. We can tell it even. Present it even more attractive. So that's where our team, USAID-backed team, Competitive Economy, who made the program this kind of part of this community, a community you really want to be part of. So I wanted to applaud these incredible people. And of course, the DIA team who made it possible to file an application in a very simple way. You've heard a lot of information already about the winners, and as Julia said, it's not just 19,000 winners, it's 19,000 of lives changed for better. We hope there will be many more. So some information about statistics. I will only dwell on what we want to build this community. We want you to be with us during brunch meetings, to get all the news, attend the events like this event today, where we're not only sharing results of the program, but give you some more information, new information. And in this panel discussion, we'll be sharing new opportunities for entrepreneurs. If you still haven't provided your feedback that Julia asked for you during the speech, you can still scan this QR code to follow the link and share your take. What would you like to improve? We want this program to be convenient for everyone. Even more, you've received these bags. There are stickers in the bags, and it's a great sticker like a European TripAdvisor, where you put it on the doors of your coffee shop or bakery, Vlasna Sprava sticker, to demonstrate that you're part of this community, Ukrainian entrepreneurs. We want you to understand that you are the economy, so that you turn more of your ideas into business projects. For this to happen, we would like to share some more opportunities that are there for you. So let's start this panel discussion, and I would like our participants to provide quick answers to my question. What 3 opportunities that your organization offers the entrepreneurs? After this quick response, we'll share some more info in our presentation. So, Julia, greetings everyone. So first, improving qualification, training, modern recruiting, and workplaces for people with disabilities. Right, we understand that great staff is everything. Natalia, I can't just limit 3. I can't just tell you it's only 3. So our bank offers grants from international donors, as well as business funding, technical assistance, training for micro and small and medium enterprises. For instance, training the skills of exporting your goods and services for other markets. And fourth, we offer tools that allow your mortgage-based loans to have much less collateral. And so forth. Thank you. As our Prime Minister said and our Vice Prime Minister said, it's extremely important. So, Alessa, what competitive offers? Reskills, Coursera, and Happy Monday. We plan to upskill 30,000 entrepreneurs. Also for creative entrepreneurs, there's a training together with Stanford University and with some food industry. There is an opportunity to travel to Berkeley University, and also a program on e-commerce on Etsy. It's not yet open, but I will be announcing it soon. Great. So you learn some and you teach some. It's about Berkeley and Stanford, so we're very much interested in this experience. Andrei, what do you have to offer? Thank you for the question. Greetings, everyone. So it's advisory services, more than 70 free consultancy advisory sessions for your own business, digital services, DIA business, educational programs for domestic and outside markets, and then thirdly, training programs for exporters, providing analytical tools, finding your international partners, etc. So before I pass the floor to each speaker in this panel discussion to share these programs, you know, there's always a moment where you start really enjoying what you're doing with the help of the first grant, and you see many more opportunities opening for you. So we hope that the opportunities you'll hear about now, you will take advantage of them, and you will build this community of people who really like what they're doing and who provide more opportunities to others. Hello. So I forgot to say hello. So thanks everyone for this. I'm Yulia Zhivchak. I'm the head of the employment service, state employment service in Ukraine. I'm so happy to see many familiar faces from different regions where we travel and we see these wonderful stories. Before I start my short presentation, I want to thank our team, first of all, the State Employment Service, and each region in particular, because they're doing a lot of operational work, connected with the Vlasna Sprava program, and it's also it's them who provided these 19,000 grants. Thanks a lot. And I want to thank Vice Minister Yulia, because Vlasna Sprava is a program that gave an opportunity to improve our employment service. And you as grantees, I hear that from you when I travel down to the regions, that you were surprised that it was the employment service provided the advisory sessions and the quality of management that we are doing this program. I have presentation somewhere, so let's put it on the screen from the Ukrainian State Employment Service. We'll run it now. So meanwhile, I'm going to say a couple of things. We are aiming to change the priorities for employment service, to improve those priorities. And even what's not in the presentation is that before the large-scale invasion, the budget of employment service constituted only 75% of our budget is monetary assistance to unemployed, and only 5 to 6% of the budget was allocated to fund active employment seeking programs for employers. Now the budget for 2025 is slated to have active employment seeking programs. Is more than 50% of that. So because during the martial law regime, the unemployment assistance has been cut to 3 months, and so today, while every employer says that they have a shortage of staff, and it's a luxury if you are only seeking for new staff for 1 year. So just last week I got back from the conference, which is called VAPES, where all of the employment services around the world. We haven't traveled there for 2 years. This time I was there, and an interesting trend that we as Ukraine, despite all that difficult work, we're still in the same trend of developing our employment service like European countries, because they also face a lot of challenges in employing the senior generation people, providing jobs to women, to encourage young people to get a job. So these grant programs, I think, there are countries that do provide this kind of assistance, but they are far in between. So thank you. The presentation is on the screen. So the opportunities that the employment service creates for businesses. I'm not going to reiterate again what the minister said before, but what's not in the presentation. By the end of this year, we plan to open about 100 offices all over Ukraine, with the brand Made in Ukraine. It's the offices that are in all the rayon employment centers, and in this kind of office, our employers, our customers can get advisory sessions to consult them on employment programs, to help them fill out their Vlasna Sprava documents, and we're also consulting and will be training our experts on all the international available programs and banking programs. So the services we are offering now to employers: recruiting, staffing, and which is a great change in the way we work as employment service. We're looking for staff for the employers, not only for business out of the pool of people registered as unemployed, but also from an open labor market, because the number of people who enrolled and registered is not as big as before. So in order to satisfy the demand from the businesses, we are becoming the state recruiters. We're helping them to find their employers from the open labor market. So there's a single vacancies portal. You can find it on the internet, It aggregates the vacant places, to, employment places for Workaway, GRC, from Jubal, and all the leading headhunting sites. There are more than 250,000 vacancies. So we created a software solution to make headhunting easier, so that you don't need to scan a lot of websites, but find them all aggregated in one spot. So professional training, vouchers, and reimbursement programs that I will describe later. Within the Ministry of Economy, within the Employment Service, there are 8 centers of professional technical education, excellence centers, where adults are learning new skills. We had 11 of them before the large-scale war. Some of them are destroyed and damaged. There are only 8 of them at the moment. You've seen them on the map. In our excellence centers, we train using to get 97 different professional skills, 400 different programs. 29,000 people completed this training only this year. So we also part of the supervisory boards in the center, so you as employers can join them, so that we train those that you actually need, professions that you actually need. So the first stage just completed in Odessa, one of our biggest centers in Odessa, and they're creating the supervisory board from big businesses. Next, and plan Dnipro and Poltava, and we are engaging employers and entrepreneurs to these events who never worked with the employment service before. They can register themselves, be part of the supervisory board, and by doing so create an incentive to us to train more staff, individually skilled, the way the employers need. So there's this unemployment fund. We can train for free the people who registered as unemployed. Then there's a separate decree of the government where we train for free all of our defenders, regardless of whether they are in the status of unemployed, because while on active duty they can't and they shouldn't, they must not. But we are ready to help them, and also individual training for the skill sets that the employers need. What's the benefit of using our training? Because we know what training of adults is. Because it's a very short-term training. It can be different type of training, from 2 weeks to 9 months, depending on the skill set and profession. Like, for instance, in Lviv Center of Professional Training, we train tractor operators in all categories, because it's a job that is very much in demand right now. Tractor agricultural operators. So there's great opportunity there. We can also provide individual skill set that the employer tailors. So you as an employer, you can basically construct a tailor-based skill set. It's a dual education, 30% theory, 70% practical skills. So these 70% acquiring technical skills is what you can provide directly on your facility. Only 1 minute left. So top professions that we are, so chef, tractor operator, welding operator, tailor. So how to train? You can apply at the State Employment Service, and you can choose one of 124 different skill set professions. We work with more than 800 different academia, and the state budget compensates 30,000 hryvnias for the whole training cost. Top professions: nurses, drivers, psychologists, healthcare workers. So 17,000 vouchers for like that have been issued. 120 million hryvnias funded from the budget. Mostly the category to go through trading are 40 plus. They're not unemployed. 30,000 IDPs, more than 1,000 people with disabilities, more than 500 active duty soldiers. How to receive the voucher? On the unemployment website, submit your online application, and within 1 to 3 days, you can, we get in contact with you. I want to dwell on the program Workspace for People with Disabilities. It's a new program in Ukraine. We're now borrowing and learning from the best practices in Europe, and so we borrowed this particular program from Estonian colleagues. Whenever an employer hires a person with disability of group 1 and 2, and there will be later changes for the veterans, so you set up a workspace. There is a list of different equipment that you can buy, and you receive a compensation up to 120,000 hryvnias for employment, for arranging a workspace for the people with disability for first group, and 80,000 for the second group. Online statistics, 1,023 jobs have been arranged like that. 910 employers have used it. 107 million has been funded. How to get it? You get it through DIA state portal. As an employer, you register in the state portal. It's very easy. 5 minutes takes to register your application. Also from the unemployment service, you as a business, if you provide a job to people with disability or veterans or people of 40 plus age, you can get more than about 50% of their salary compensated through a program. If you employ the internally displaced persons, you can get 8,000 hryvnias compensated within 3 months, or if it's an IDP with disability, 6 months. Then there's a separate program where you get 16,000 hryvnias monthly to compensate for salary and payroll. So we've provided employment more than 10,000 IDPs, and 218 million hryvnias have been funded. You can get it through either DIA state portal or state employment service. Thank you so much for attention. Here are contact. Thank you, Julia. We're very thankful to the entire employment service. It's more than 7,000 employees all over Ukraine that are actual, as we say, business nurses or helping people become entrepreneurs. You're doing a great job. Thank you so much for that. Natalia, Oshad Bank was a bank that jumped on this bandwagon, so to say, and helped to get this program running in 2 weeks after the idea started. You know, in bureaucracy, in state bureaucracy, it's science fiction. You can't get anything done in 2 weeks. But with the efforts of Oshad Bank, State Employment Service, and DIA, you've done it, and now we have this great program that keeps on giving. And so what are other opportunities that you offer for our grantees and potential grantees? I'm sure you have a lot of things to showcase. Thank you for mentioning the way we started. For us, it's a great example of how the mindset of a bank has changed during the war. We cannot imagine ourselves anyone else other than a partner, creating opportunities for entrepreneurs. We're so proud of that. I'm Natalia Budkova. I'm the member of the management of State Oshad Bank. I'm responsible for small and medium enterprises. I've been for more than 20 years in banking, and from 2018 I've been head of this particular part of Oshad Bank. The objective of our bank and this particular business line is to create opportunities for entrepreneurs, and any initiative that was there organized and offered by the government, the bank will support it and help implement it. We are the bank that offers international grants. We help work out state grants, and we're also a key bank to work with international donors. Over these 2 years, the bank has processed and verified and analyzed 53,000 applications. It means about 2,000 per month. And I think this is not our limit. Let's take a look at the dynamic of our loan portfolio. We started at in 2022 with the 9 billion hryvnias. What you see now is 23 billion hryvnias. So we tripled our portfolio basically during the war. We haven't stopped even for a day. We funded our own entrepreneurs and other entrepreneurs. We still keep funding Kharkiv, Zaporizhia, Kherson, Donetsk. We don't stop. We keep raising this momentum. The total number provided the economy so far is 35 billion hryvnia. This number may not mean anything for you personally, but it means that the bank is continuing and will continue funding and supporting each of your business. Well, of course, if you great credit history, a great reputation, and your financial indicators with at least minimal profitability. What are our priorities and what new things you can get in this bank? The latest peak product for us is loans for energy needs. 1.2 billion hryvnias worth of applications have been submitted so far. It's without corporate businesses, small and medium. In corporate businesses, there are about 15 billion such applications. What's the key important for you in this kind of product? Zero prepayment. Secondly, funding up to 10 years of payment, zero commission, funding within 579 programs, as Julia mentioned, or alternatively, we have partner programs where the funding is provided with zero interest rate, because this interest rate is compensated by either importer of the equipment or vendor of the equipment. And we do fund all types of equipment that saves energy. Biogas stations, gas pump stations, cogeneration, any type of need for this kind of facility can be provided by the bank. We have a green corridor for this application. That means that the applications are reviewed much shorter than other applications. And also the collateral requirements will be much less. The agreement looks like we take equipment as collateral. Additionally, there will be a guarantee from either government or EBRD, and the owner's guarantee. So that's the only thing we need. Additionally, when there's the funding for any other needs, our bank can provide grants from international partners up to 30% as a cashback or blending finance when you get funding and you receive non-reimbursable financial assistance. Here's some story of one of our customers on the video, and that video demonstrates support and relevant opportunities from the bank. It's the client, it's a customer from Makariv. When it's possible, let's run the video. Our clinic has existed since 2013. It's a pet assistance or animal assistance center. Before the war, we had more than 30 people, staff. For about 5 years, we worked with dual education. We trained our interns here. When the large-scale war started, we kept working. Surgery that used to help animals started doing surgeries for people whenever we needed. There were air bombardment, there was artillery shellings, our courtyard had burnt down, our lab had been completely destroyed.
Inside, from the pain, it seemed like everything was upside down. How do we restore everything? Is it worth it? And where do we take strength and funds? We actually had no strength. Their strength was given to us by people and animals. A huge part of it was the aid from grant funds received from the government. It was with these funds that we began our restoration, first in spirit and then financially using grants. I learned about that grant from DIA. We received the funds through Oshad Bank. There were no problems or difficulties in processing it at all. The grant funds supported us. A portion went towards purchasing an analyzer, a centrifuge, and also reagents. These funds are needed to restore the future life and opportunities. They give you the strength to take the next step when you're exhausted. They give you an ability not to lose faith and understand that everything is possible. Thanks. Natalia? Just a half a minute. That was a good examples of the opportunities. That was a grant program for youthful business, and an additional focus would be the bank funds veterans, and it provides services to veteran businesses, and funding startups is one of the goals of our bank. You can apply for the loan online or in any branch. There is a network of more than 1,000 offices all around the country. And just the last word I want to say is glory to Ukraine, glory to the heroes. Thank you, Natalia. That was really interesting information about supporting energy, resilience of our businesses, and hopefully you won't have to use it, but we need to understand the risks. We're really happy that Oshad Bank helps us with covering these risks. Olesya, I know you have a lot to tell about what your program is. Well, first, I really appreciate the way you support Vlasna Sprava, because you help us with improving processes. There are lots of talented people involved. You involved USAID and to make sure the program is ongoing. So thank you very much for your team. Your efforts are really essential. And you mentioned Berkeley, Stanford. So tell me more about that. Yeah, without Oshad Bank, without the employment service, it would not be possible. Not possible without everyone who was involved in the program, in other programs, because it's been our 6th year in Ukraine. And we're really proud of your success, because your success is our success. We have lots of ambitious goals for the next year. We want to create 100,000 jobs, where half would be indirect jobs and half would be direct jobs. So we really care about it, because it's not just about creating jobs in bigger enterprises. It's about ordinary Ukrainians creating their businesses and creating jobs for other people. And we've been mentioning the huge need in human resources, talents, and this is why we have a couple of initiatives. You can see one of them here on the PowerPoint. Reskill is the one that we're realizing with Coursera and Happy Monday, when we want to engage 30,000 Ukrainians who stay in Ukraine or who traveled outside of Ukraine. It's very important to show people abroad that Ukraine still has possibilities, not just to be employed, but to be retrained and get new skills. So please learn more about this opportunity with Coursera and Happy Monday, who help us with mentorship and HR. They help people to find where they belong, and it's like a interactive platform. Another one is Stanford Ignite, that is being implemented by the Ukrainian Catholic University. It's a collaboration with the Ministry of Economy. We have our first wave of students, and we're training the second wave. So if you think it's important, I do think it's important for lots of people, please apply for the support. And lots of people mention that they travel abroad and they realize that they can really help. So export starts with small steps, with a product, with huge effort, because exporting is like a whole new level. It's a lot more complicated than just selling on the local market. Another acceleration program implemented with the American University for food manufacturers, Berkeley Food Accelerator. So please apply, because as soon as you test your product or your idea there, or after talking to teachers, professors, and other participants, your feedback will be much appreciated. Another two initiatives that we really love doing with the Ministry of Economy is engaging women in jobs that are traditionally male-dominated, represented by males, retraining women as building construction machinery and truck drivers. You may not agree with us, but the reality is women should be engaged in the national economy more, and these are the jobs that are actually highly paid, jobs where women can be retrained to be successful. In this initiative to retrain women as construction machinery operators, one of the ladies returned from Poland, and she went through that program, and she hopes to get a job that is comparable to the one that she used to have in Poland. And we had women sharing their expectations, and one of the girls said that, well, you don't have to try. You have to just go for it. So we're really inspired by these women, the women who are courageous and who want to keep moving. Another initiative is On Frontiers consultations that can help you with registration and selection processes. Another initiatives, we've opened our competition for Etsy program together with Ukrposhta delivery service. You will be able to get loans from Etsy for promotion and advertising. We plan that we expect 500 entrepreneurs to take part in this program. So please watch for updates, and I don't have much time. I'll just add personally, we have a retraining program that we're implementing in 4 oblasts: Odessa, Poltava, Kiev, and Lviv. And recently I was at a final meeting where we did an analysis of the results, and we talked about the training process. Actually, it takes 20 days. One of the feedback was it would be really nice to have labs where they can actually try and get some hands-on experience, and they actually had said, well, there is one with proper equipment. So I just want to say that we really appreciate our partners. We really appreciate the energy. So please keep working with us, and we'll be grateful if you have some feedback about our programs that we're planning to implement or we're already implementing. Thank you very much, Alessia. I do hope that among people sitting here, among people watching us online, actually there are more than 1,000 people watching us online. Some people will go to Stanford, some people will go to Berkeley. That's fine. Ukraine has lots of opportunities to give them. And last but not least, Andrei Remizov, Entrepreneurship and Export Development Office. Together with the Ministry of Digital Transformation, you have Dia Business, actually an awesome resource. And maybe you are aware of these tools, but hopefully you will give us more details. Yeah, I congratulate you with this anniversary. That's a really nice program, providing really nice opportunities. Just want to talk about opportunities provided by our office and Dia Business. It actually goes well together with all programs created by the Ministry of Economy. And as far as the Dia Business goes, that's a part of Dia ecosystem. That's a separate portal. You can see it on the PowerPoint. There are lots of different features, business ideas to launch your own business, 150 types of support, free advice, and other digital services, like a platform that allows you to scale your business. So the first part is advice or consultations. They're all free. And it includes answers to the questions like how to create a team, how to build business processes on your enterprise. And you can learn that from market professionals. So these people, the people giving advice, are actual professionals working on the market. You can see how it looks like. It's very easy to apply, just 3 clicks. And you can do it online. Export advice, detailed support from experienced professionals, mentorship on how to enter a specific market with your product, and more than 1,900 companies use these opportunities. Financial Opportunities Marketplace, 420 financial programs from different organizations. You can find information about existing grants like Yerobota, Vlasna, Sprava, different donor programs. It's like a real marketplace where you can use smart filters to find the type of support you need. This is how it looks like. You choose the filter and you find the program that suits you the best. And also you can customize the programs. The next area is education. We focus on long-term and short-term programs. Vlasna is the one that is created for women. More than 200,000 women took part in that. Mitsnist or Strength, Vlasna, and others. You train for 4 months and then you can compete for prize funding to purchase equipment and so on. You can see some success stories from our participants who produce clothing and toys, and lots of people can apply. We've been talking about scaling your business, and we focus on exporting products. We have large export programs for entrepreneurs. If you think about the right market to sell your products, we have Export Academy program. Export Academy 2024, you can use the QR code to visit the website. It's a 6-month program. And with the help of that program, you can analyze the market to build logistics system and market your products. That's a really nice program for newcomers. We implemented with the Institute from Estonia. Individual studies. People have questions like, I received the grant and I'm trying to scale it up, and the question is, where can I export it? So the next question is, how do you do analysis? How do you do research? And with the help of that program, you can analyze different markets. We analyze different foreign marketplaces like cookies. You can see how much it costs in Bulgaria. And it's all absolutely free. You can analyze different food products like snacks, honey, and as a result, we provide a PDF file with 50 pages to the company. How do you apply? You see, you can visit the DIA website, business section. You find the right section and you fill the questionnaire, and then you can get advice. With business analytics, dashboards, creating dashboards. You can use it individually. You can see how Ukraine exports to other countries and how it imports products from other countries, and you can see what suits you well. Besides, we have different sectoral research studies for food industry, machinery. You can dig into different areas of economy. And the last opportunity for seasoned professionals, for seasoned business people, we work with exhibitions. We create national Ukrainian booths where we display Ukrainian products around the world. We take care of the operations, and your job is just to be there and participate. And these are some success stories, contracts, $160,000 and so on. People exported metal to Romania. These are larger businesses, but it actually is interesting to see how it works. And here is our plan for the next 3 months. If you're really interested, if you have a production process up and running, you can apply. And this is our philosophy. We want to expand it. We have around $500 million hryvnias income from received by companies that we brought to these exhibitions, and this is just a small part of the ecosystem. We're trying to develop it, and we will be happy to support different business people in Ukraine. And big thanks to the ministry, to USAID, for your support that allows us to do even more for the business. Thank you. Thanks, Andriy. Really lots of opportunities. You're all invited. You can visit DIA website and see for yourself. Just to remind you, we keep working, we keep paying taxes to make sure Ukraine defends itself and wins. So we're thankful to all of you. We're thankful to our partners for these opportunities that allow us to stay afloat and pay taxes to make sure the country resists. And this next panel is about inspiration. Our partners will talk about how this affected their businesses. Another one is Republic Kitchen. I can see the girls are already here. They will be talking about their businesses, because you do understand You can do anything, but if nobody knows about it, it just doesn't work. We want you to keep dreaming, dream big, and win big.
Пані Тетяна, заступниця міністра економіки.
Tatiana, Deputy Minister, already said what's coming. Now we have a 40-minute for lunch. That means that we're back here at 5 o'clock. And take a look at your badges. There's a QR code that you can use to access presentations and all photos, so please don't lose it. See you in 40 minutes. Thanks for the cheat sheet. Yeah, actually, that's true. 2 years. We're celebrating 2 years, and we talked about our pride. Now we'll be talking about our inspiration. We'll be talking about people who actually could develop their businesses due to these grants. And let's talk about them, and let's see the video about them. I'm building the best clinic in the best country of the world with the best people available. I started my own business before the war. You just need to take a chance and give it a try. Don't be afraid. I'm a hat maker. I make hats. And that's what my business is about. I have my own brand I've been dreaming about for many years. That's my ultimate dream, and I just want to tell the world that we can flourish in the environment that we live in, and we can produce the best product in the world. Thanks for your applause, and just want to call Irina Dereshok, who's manager of Vlasna Sprava, development manager, or everyone. Guys, there is lots of people in the audience, and I want to thank all of you for being here, for taking your time. And as a communication manager, I want to invite you in our Instagram and tell us about your success. As a team, we are looking for such stories, and there's lots of people in the audience, and we found some good stories, and we want to tell your story as well. So please don't be shy. Leave us a note, a direct message in Vlasna Sprava, and tell us more about your businesses. Guys, thank you very much. I want to introduce you, and I want to tell people about your business and the reason why you're here. I will start with Yana Kitaeva. Yana, you have your medical clinic, and you took a grant to develop your medical clinic. No, actually, I'm Yana Kitaeva. I'm a dermatologist. And I opened my clinic in 2020 before COVID started, and we survived COVID. Then the war started. And we are still struggling. And then in 22, 23, I knew about the grant, but I didn't know what doors to knock on. I used the 579 loan program from the government. I knew that there is some support from the government, and my friend who knows more about that, and she told me about it. I did my research, and I really wanted to purchase ultrasound equipment, and I mean, there's a lot going on in the medical industry. There are congresses being organized globally, and it's just a necessity for me, not a luxury. For a dermatologist, ultrasound equipment is just a necessity. And I considered buying a really cheap one, and then I learned about the grant program. And then I said, okay, let's forget about this cheaper equipment. I found a really nice ultrasound equipment, and I decided this is what I'm going to do. So I took the grant, I purchased the ultrasound device, I hired a gastroenterologist in my clinic, I expanded the number of services we're providing. Now I have 3 more dermatologists in my team. We have interns. So I'm doing my best to train them, to teach them, and I believe in our country's future because we know, and you've experienced it. You know, there's lots of misconception about ibuprofen and paracetamol. You know about the Western healthcare. There's lots of people going back to Ukraine to purchase different medical supplies and to get medical services. So more and more people ask for medical services, and also for our gynecology department I purchased some new equipment. Maria Bubnova, co-owner of Nova Kuchnia company. For me personally, your story is so incredible, and I prepared for this panel. I learned about your business, but I want you to tell more about it. So how did you get the grant? What's your story? Thank you for the question. Hello everyone. My story is different from other people. My business was launched in 2012 in Mariupol, and we built a food production enterprise in Mariupol until 2020. And then there were these 20 days, and there's a movie about this, 20 days in Mariupol, and it was not a movie for us, it was reality. So this is when we left Mariupol. Thankfully our family survived, and we left Mariupol for continental Ukraine. We were so lost, we were so frustrated, and we decided to stay in Ukraine. We decided to save our children, so I had to go to travel abroad, and then I stayed in the Netherlands for a year and a half, and then they came up with these grant programs in Ukraine. I knew that I want to go back to Ukraine, but I couldn't plan when I'll be able to do it, because I felt responsible for my children, for their health and life. And then, while being abroad, I applied for the grant Vlasna Sprava, and I'll be honest, I failed. I failed to get it. It was 2023 spring, but I didn't give up. I returned to Ukraine. I realized that I'm getting some help from the government, and I realized that they're going to make the situation better. And then after the 3rd attempt, I succeeded, and there's nothing easy in business. I'm not gonna lie. So the situation improved. I had some misunderstanding when they checked my identity. Yes, and it was 2023. I'm really thankful to the Ministry of Economy and to all who promote the grant program. Also, we took another grant for processing industry, and it's a great thing to be able to develop our enterprises. We built another enterprise, Nova Kuchnia, in another city, and we create new types of food. And so our dream is to feed the country. Thank you. That's an incredible story, right? So inspiring, doing your job despite all the difficulties. Thank you very much, Yevgen. I'm happy to have you here. Yevgeny Yeremin, the owner of the Yeremin brand. And I think that during the full-scale invasion, your brand became so popular. Tell me your story with Vlasna Sprava. And what did you apply for? And actually, how did you learn about the program? Hi, everyone. Yes, that's true. When I launched my business after the full-scale invasion, I just thought, who needs hats nowadays? And I didn't think that people will be interested in my brand. It was very hard for me to start it, but I wanted people to support me, not just in Ukraine, but also abroad. And people do want to use Ukrainian brands and wear Ukrainian clothes. And it still supports me so much. It really makes me want to produce Ukrainian products and promote them abroad. And my friend actually made me take that grant. I was just thinking, who's going to provide me that? For hats? Seriously? Who needs that? And then I realized that's what the beauty is about. This is what we need to promote, because it's really inspiring. It inspires us to live on. So she made me take that grant. And then I was so anxious. I was like passing the test. It was like a back to school moment. And I was thinking about, how do I do it? It was challenging, but I did it. And I'm really thankful to the government. It's really great to be supported by the government. It's good to have their shoulder to lean on. Thank you. Christina Rachitska. You came from Lviv, and thanks for finding the time. I'm fond of your story and your brand and the values that you promote. As a fashion brand, so tell me what you needed a grant for, and please share the story behind your brand, because it's really inspiring. Hello? It's good to be able to talk about this. And answering your question, my story began long ago. It's a story about my family, and I just mentioned about that, but it makes me want to talk about it. The reason why I started being involved in fashion industry, it's just a tribute to my family. My great-grandmother and her sister, they were part of Ukrainian insurgents army, and there was a guerrilla hideout, and they were on the way to help the guerrillas, the soldiers, bring them some food, and they were arrested on the way there. And then the war ended, and then my mother was born, I was born, my children were born, and it happened during the war. And I realized that fashion industry became a driver behind lots of efforts. And having that experience, having that knowledge, I'm not an economist, not at all. And I never thought that somebody is going to tell that business. That was just a thing that I love. I do it. I'll keep talking about this, and I'll share it, and I'll share my values that I inherited from my family, because I know every mother wants their children to live and prosper. This is why I took it as a responsibility to promote Ukrainian fashion industry abroad. We did that, we started doing that during the war, and we didn't know how we were going to do that. We didn't know if there will be some people out there. We didn't know if our children will wish to work because they may stay abroad. But I decided to stay, and I realized that if we stay, we need to keep working, we need to keep developing, we need to stay in the country, we need to support the Ukrainian economy. And that's what we did. We worked during weekends, and we would end our day, end our work week on Sunday, late at night. And the situation was we needed equipment, we need steam generators, and people started coming, people who left Kharkiv and other cities, people from eastern Ukraine, and people went to Lviv because it was more or less safe for kids. And this is what we realized. That's the time where we need to work for the country.
And that's how I learned about the grant program from people I hardly knew. So, because everybody needed everything every time. So I was collecting embroidered shirts, and I realized that I need to have certain facilities, certain ventilation, because it's not just clothes. So in this war, I had 2 small kids, plus a lot of luggage were embroidered shirts, very complex shirts there. And I realized that you can't take a lot with you. We have to stay here. We have to bring our children up here. We need to instill these values in them, and we need to cherish and retain everything that the contribution of our ancestors, and remember the price that our ancestors pay and we keep paying to keep living here now. Isn't that really inspiring? Thank you so much. You're incredible, and thank you for choosing Vlasna Sprava grant program. Well, on a positive note, we're working on communication channels. Double W works for us, which is a woman to woman. So, and there are things that we all share. Maria, your experience and the scale of your business and your perseverance, your notoriety in how you pursue your business, it's inspiring. So just recently, the president came to visit. Could you tell us the story? Do these visits inspire you, or do they intimidate you? What has changed in your attitude toward the state? What is for you as an entrepreneur this kind of attention and care from the state? How do you take it? Yeah, on April 26, 2024, my company was visited by the president and the first lady, and there was the Tatiana Berezhna as part of this visit. Thank you so much for visiting us. It was dedicated to Slavutich. It was the anniversary of the Chernobyl tragedy. So when they were in our city, the program was to visit a company that restored it to function in Slavutich. So because it was a city that did a lot for IDPs in the previous years, and now I am myself as an IDP, I recreated my company from ground up, because we did not relocate, we restored it entirely from scratch with grants. And so for me it was quite an achievement that my company was visited by the leadership. So, because I came back from abroad in summer 2023, and then I communicated through social networks, through the Department of Economy of Kiev region, with the Ministry of Economy, and I tried to be in the loop as much as I could, so that we can prove that we can rebound. Because recreate a company from ground up is not infrequent, and that high visit for me, it was a significant thing, because we did manage to achieve and were noticeable in Ukraine. And one of such outcomes that day, I remember I had this problem back then, that because we were from Mariupol, Facebook was blocking our advertisement. Because there's a business page, but Facebook algorithms blocked it. I couldn't do anything because I was blocked forever from promoting any of my businesses and brands. So advertisements are important for me, because we're creating new product, new market, new brand. So I needed a promo, I needed an advertisement, because only online that was a tool. So when I came to the Ministry of Economy, this direct communication is a different thing. You're not intimidated to ask a question, and so then we managed to pursue to convince Facebook to unblock our page. So right now we have this communication where government communicates with small businesses. You can talk directly with your problems and questions about your business. There are grant programs. There's this publicity where they do videos about my company. They want to tell my story, and life does. It's great advertisement for me and my product, because there are a lot of business connections disrupted at the moment. And using my example, I can say that up to Mariupol, it's very difficult. It was very difficult to rebuild my life from ground up, to build new connections, new horizontal, meaningful connections. So through these events, that's how I reestablish new connections. So thank you for that. Now that I can share my story at this kind of event. So these are all steps that show how effective our work is, that we're noticeable, we're not afraid to showcase our business. I know that that small entrepreneurs who are only started, they are often too shy to tell about their idea, or they don't want it to be stolen. I want to encourage you, don't be afraid, do share, be noticeable, and then maybe next time around you'll be sitting here on the panel discussion sharing your recovery story. Remind you again, please write us personal messages. Our team is expecting success stories. We'll be sharing it to popularize your businesses. We love to help you in that. And now let's move to Yana's story. You have an interesting story, because I've never heard personally about grants for doctors. So you took a grant for a hospital, and you keep developing this medical facility. Was there anything particular your business faced as a challenge, and how you managed to deal with it? And meaning that it's a healthcare business, what kind of challenges you faced? So I'll tell a short story. For 10 years, I was employed as a healthcare worker at the hospital for STDs treatment. And I have 2 kids, I have too many patients, I'm overworked, and I was very scared. I don't like somebody just telling you, like, don't be afraid, because that is not quite meaningful. I've barely scraped some money, and I decided to create my own healthcare establishment, like a small. There should be a medical license with all the proper conditions for dermal surgery, for sterilization, everything that a proper hospital has to have. But we were very underfunded, so I opened it in 2020. Then COVID hit in a month. But when you truly believe in your cause, when you're helping yourself, helping other people, then the universe starts helping you too. So, like in a year, when I opened the small clinic, I was dreaming that that there should be multi-profile establishment, not only dermatology. So it's a healthcare center. So each new piece of revenue, we reinvested in more equipment. We took a state loan because everything around medical profession, everything is very expensive. Equipment is too expensive. So during the large-scale war, I faced, just as everybody, the doctors who I invested in training, because there are no dermatologists. Skin doctors are far in between. You need to nurture that person as a professional. If I write that I need a doctor, I need 6 months to at least teach that person something that I will need in my work. That's why, and the large-scale war started, I remember that April 13 with my kids, I was writing from Truskavets recreation because I couldn't stay there. I need to work. The patients are writing me, and April 14th I was back at work, and then I see that 40% of my team is somewhere abroad or in the west of Ukraine, and I understand what to do. So okay, I will work myself on the 300 square meters, and I started working. My team started getting together piece by piece. So, and the funny thing that people were just coming to me, even those who were sitting in some village far away. They saw that the clinic is working, Yana is working, so they came to me from the villages. Do something, just be with me. I want to feel like a piece of normal life. And at that time, again, the problem was staffing, finding qualified people. I took some young doctors, started teaching them again. So at that time, I found out that there is a grant program from the state. So I thought, no, I'm not stopping here. I'm going to expand. I'm going to buy more equipment. I took loans, but I will do it. So there's a motto in our clinic. We're building the best clinic in the best country of the world with the best people in the world. So we keep doing it, regardless of one. So when I travel to a World Congress, I see the level of our doctors and the level of foreign doctors, like the US, Asia, Europe. Believe me, our doctors are the pinnacle. We do have the best equipment. Well, Ukraine still does not produce much of the equipment, but we know how to choose. We know how to buy properly, how to choose proper equipment, so you don't miss. And we're building the clinic in the best country of the world. I'm just looking at time, not to take over time. Thank you. Yeah, the idea was to, Vlasna Sprava is the only grant at the moment that doctors had claimed. So please, healthcare workers, doctors, please do apply. We'll support you. Now, Christina, I think that Ukrainian national attire during the large-scale invasion has become much more valued than before. Maybe it's my personal bias, but I'm sitting here completely in Ukrainian-made brands, Kotlerovska, Chichikova, Etnodim, and I understand that I'm not even looking at outside brands. I have everything that I want produced in Ukraine in terms of clothing, the quality and everything. So how your business felt that support, whether you had this support over this time of large-scale invasion? Have people started to value your work because you started way before that the aggressor started trying to destroy us? You know, national consciousness, national spirit has raised during the war, and not only not only fashion, it's print, the stories, the music, everywhere where we are now comes back to the sources, to our roots, and it's also about the fashion. At the moment, everybody's watching Ukraine. Everybody's watching in the world how Ukraine grows, how it develops, how we survive. Don't be ashamed of the world survival, because that's actually what we're doing. And the whole world looking at us, how proudly we rebound, we get up again, start rebuilding again and again, our work, our nation. So the same fashion is also part of it. Many designers, artists, creators come back to the roots, to where we are from and what our culture is. And I'm very happy to be able to say that we want to stay loud and proud how talented we are, how rich is our culture, how many things we're capable of. And we're much stronger than everyone in terms of survivability. So we can defend our territory and ourselves, because where there's Ukrainians, there's embroidery, there's stories, there's Ukrainian song, and it's very important to remember that and to develop that, to capitalize on that. And it's our duty to retain it, to cherish it, and teach it to our children. This is a very motivative panel discussion, but it's also very soulful. I think we're doing a great job of that, right? So, Eugene, question to you. Your brand, I know it personally. I've learned about it back at the large-scale invasion, and over the time, what's happening in our country, I see how popular it's become, and you're growing and keeping momentum. How do you see your brand in 3 to 5 years? Do you have a growth strategy? How do you want to keep developing? How do you want to make Ukrainian Ermin headwear brand? Thank you, Irina. You were my first support as a customer of my headgear and caps. And, you know, the feedback that I've heard, like the feedback abroad and how our hats were in the focus of attention, it's very important now to showcase Ukraine from that side, to showcase our fashion. And I like that people value that a lot. They want to touch that. They want, it's great. We get stuff ordered from abroad. Not only Ukrainians order it, but just foreigners from all over the world. They see it and they place orders. They get inspired. And it's right now we're starting to grow abroad. We make it popular. It's not easy, but soon there'll be Paris Fashion Week, where we'll be participating, and it's a big step for us to squeeze in the in the international fashion. I'm saying squeeze because it's not very easy. It requires a lot of investments, budgetary investments and moral investments. So we need to be ready for that. You need to be perseverant to understand that it takes time. Now we're working on that, and I think we'll be successful because the support that we're receiving from the people, from the state, helps us to move forward when you actually don't know oftentimes what to do. Everybody has these moments where you hardly know how do you get through, but it passes. Failures is sometimes inevitable. You have to get up again. Understanding that still you can't avoid that, So keep yourself inspired, keep yourself loving in the loving spirit, and just walk forward. Thanks a lot. So, friends, I wanted to ask a question to you. I'm just watching the clock, whether we do it or not. So, I wanted to talk about your experience. We're all entrepreneurs. Each of you understand what are the sometimes hardships that the entrepreneurship is tied with. So what are the challenges that we face? But if we say, if we talk about motivation, soulful support, could you share with your experience, what kind of benefits you found, something positive in scaling up your businesses in these turbulent times? Because you're all basically doing that. So let's inspire each other by some positive benefits. What are the pros of developing your business in this turbulent time? So Yana, start with you. Well, my main inspiration is my patience, but patience of the clinic method. Because every day I receive letters for the services that we provided, for the care that we give. Because, because it's all about experience. Understanding people, understanding patients. I know what is good and what's not very good. So my patient is priority number one. We're providing high quality services. And my inspiration, what inspires me, my doctors, my patients, my team, and again, in these darker times, patients come from different parts of the world, gynecologists, dermatologists. Because I had this idea, since I'm working with the young people, with interns, that's my mission in life, I guess. So I started creating my own training product. Why? Because regardless of where you are, in what country you're now, so I started sharing my experience with younger doctors, started creating a training platform. This motivates a lot. It moves me. So that's why we don't stop. I teach, I buy, I create, I take grants. That's my destiny, I think. So, Maria, the same question. What inspires you? What are the benefits? And a couple of words about your product, because it's a very interesting product. I wanted you to stress that. Tell us about the product. to everyone. Thank you. Because I have this mirror image and I see a video from my production. So when I see results that we managed to build a company, that inspires a lot. That inspires that we survived. We rebuilt our business from scratch, and we have plans for the future. We get inspired from people who buy our products. So let me tell you a little bit about our product. It's product for the military. When volunteers buy it and send it to the front line, and then I get feedback on social network, I keep that as screenshots and then print out so that the team see all that. That inspires them. We have a very non-typical product. I saw the idea in the Netherlands. It's full ready dishes. They're not dry, they're not frozen, they don't need to be cooked. We did it. We cooked them. It's just not in the casserole at home, but in the special package. It's boiled right there. It can be stored without freezer for a year. It doesn't have conservants because the technology is cooking it in special film, in special retort package. That allows to get a high quality, tasty product which can be stored for a long time. That's why it's very relevant right now. Because when volunteers tell me stories where borscht, so a drone was used to deliver borscht to trenches where it's almost impossible to have logistics. I understand that this is not just a company. The war will be over, Ukraine will be victorious. We're all doing everything we can for that. And right now when I'm here at home, my family is also not hungry because there's some food for those who are on the move all the time, building your businesses or working in a company in different areas, or is learning, training. Our product gives you free time. And I want to say that when we created this company, we received experience how to build the equipment, how to use this equipment, and now I'm open to communication. There's a package of borscht here on the stand. As an exhibition, I'm standing open to answer your questions. Just a year ago, I was attending this kind of event about Vlasna Sprava, and I was dreaming that I wanted to hit the stage. And now I'm here on the stage, and it's so great. I'm so satisfied to see so many inspired people. So don't sit isolated. Communicate with people. There are a lot of great people around, and you get a lot of support. The Ukrainian community is vibrant, and people are ready to give you advice when you need it. So take grants, find something, collaborate. It helps your businesses. Thank you for hosting this. Christina, what inspires me? Well, I'm inspired by my dreams, my love to Ukraine, to everything Ukrainian, and I think we have a lot to be proud of, especially how we love and respect each other, how we support each other. So when we talk about our future, that's the inspiration for us to be victorious, to create jobs, to create great products, to be renowned all over the world. We are a great nation. I keep saying that. I want our victory to happen as soon as possible so that we can live in our best country in the world. We have 1 more minute for this discussion now. It's a short question that you answer by yes or no. Are you going to apply for Vlasna Sprava grant the second time? Of course, yes. Yeah. So all four said yes. Thank you for this discussion. Thank you for your Evgeny Yeremin, Maria Bubnova, Yana Kitaeva, Vlasna Sprava grant program. Thank you so much. So, from myself, I can say it's hugely inspiring. So, it takes turns. Utilitarian, then inspiring, then against utilitarian. I'm a journalist by trade. I know that it's important not only to do something, but also to tell about it to the people, and that's what we will have. The next lecture is about. How a small business can effectively deal with PR. There will be two ladies from Public Kitchen, Anastasia and Eugenia. Please give them a round of applause. Hello, everyone. Greetings and thank you for staying with us. This is the last block of this conference. I understand that it can be taxing to sit still for a long time, but this is an interesting lecture about effective PR. So let's begin. So I'm Nastya Ivchenko and I'm Eugenia Kagnovich. We are co-founders of communication agency Public Kitchen, School of Modern PR Public and Kiev Hey Guide. We are founders of this communication agency. We don't have much time.
We'll be talking about PR campaigns, and hopefully we'll be able to inspire you to start your own PR campaign in your own businesses. So right now, we'll tell you more about ourselves. Who's got the clicker? Just a minute. A bit more about ourselves. So that's our agency. We've been selling on the market for 6.5 years. We have more than 10 years of experience. We did more than 500 cases. We worked with influencers and celebrities. We did brand consultings. We did event organization. And there are projects and companies among our clients, not just from Ukraine, but also from the US, Korea, Georgia, Poland, Romania, and others. That's not the whole list. Yes, it's really just some of the clients, and we also launch smaller businesses. We also work with larger international companies, so I think everybody could relate. This is a list of media we've been working with. We did publications for our clients in the New York Times, in Vogue, in American Forbes, in Harper's Bazaar. That's our profile. That's how we do our PR campaigns. We also provide outfits for celebrities, And that's the same trench, both on Kourtney Kardashian, and also we work with Ethnodeem, and even the president wears, and the Queen of Spain wear their shirts. That's also what we did. That's in October. You can see Lady Gaga and Hailey Bieber. We do creative mailing list and PR kits. That's a mailing list for Accelera brand. We launched the first issue of Ukrainian Mary Claire. We did a PR Park event. That's my favorite case, actually. That's a Yankee brand. They produce clothing, and they produce outdoors wear for people in Antarctica. That's also another our client, another Forbes interview. Forbes and another client, boutique client brand Jewel. Maybe you know about that. That's mass market brand, and the whole thing was done by Nastya's team, because that's what Nastya does. Tell him about it. Yeah. Actually, I've been a fan of Volodymyr Ivasyuk, the famous Ukrainian oldies singer. And I really love the song Червона Рута. And I came up with a story. We need to reflect it in our modern life, in our outfits. And I became so fond of it. I wanted to do something special. I drove to Chernivtsi, and we met with the Volodymyr Ivasyuk family, with his sister. We still communicate, and we did lots of cool projects to promote Volodymyr's musical heritage. I'll just add personally that we already developed 3 drops, 3 interpretations, and we'll talk about that later. It's also a brand Jewel, Ukrainian brand that does psychological rehabilitation for children who lost their parents. We did that with Monatik, the singer, and this is how we collected donations for them. Our client, Oberich, they've been donating their wedding rings to the military, to military couples who decided to marry while being on the front line. We organize professional events like this one. One of Ukrainian bakeries did an event. You can bake Easter bread yourself. That's another project. Maybe you've seen these t-shirts, Gali Carries Water. That's actually lyrics from a Ukrainian traditional song. I don't remember the actual number, but I think we sold like thousands. I think I meet people wearing this t-shirt every day, different cities of Ukraine. We went to Venetian Biennale. That's our social project, Hey Guide. We create different ideas and implement different initiatives. Like we recorded a Christmas Carol album, and I think we were number 14 in Apple Store, in the Apple Store rating. We also do PR trainings, so that's what we're going to talk about. We have a school that's been functioning for 4 years. So let's get down to business. That's our topic. How do small businesses launch efficient PR campaigns? Actually, what is PR campaign and why do we need it? We need to talk about this because it's actually there are lots of different people in the audience. Some people are more professional, some people are newcomers. But there are lots of definitions of a public relations campaign. Everyone who wrote a book about it thinks that his definition is the best, but we try to simplify it. So a PR campaign means managing public opinions. And it's not a very precise definition. It's very hard to manage public opinion, so this is why PR professionals are well paid on the market. This is the definition. This is the article on Wikipedia, but you can actually get by a simple definition. But the key about PR is reputation. It's not about the number of likes. That's not about number of sales. That's reputation. Because reputation is the key of any business. Normally, PR campaigns focus on your image, the way your perception or people's perception of your company. So PR is what we wish people think about us, but reputation is what the kind of a response what we get for our image. I'll just add that PR is very specific thing, and there are different tools that we keep working with, like working with media, influencer marketing, because without them, that just doesn't work. PR kits and events. And number 4 is collaborations and social initiatives. It only works as part of a system, and it only works together. It always a systematic, consistent approach, not just about using a single document. So I'll just give you an example. It's a specific case done by us, so I know all about that. Maybe you know about the Good Wine Company, and they've been creating the biggest wine festival in Eastern Europe, and in 2019 we acted as a PR office of the festival. So we had access to all events, and we wanted to communicate that to the public the right way. This is how it worked. We chose 7 to 8 different informational events. I'll just get back to the picture. We did a set of merchandise. And of course, we knew that lots of different media write about that, write about what's going to happen around the city in the next few days, and we wanted to expand the audience. So when we decided that we need merchandise, we approached Ksenia Schneider, and we suggested that we make it together, because by doing that we will expand our audience to people who are not really fans of wine. This is why we created this merchandise. And they did an article about that in the media. Of course, we can use models, or we can invite influencers. So this is what we did. We invited fashion influencers, Ruslan Baginskis with his partner Petro, Slava Balbeka with his wife and the dog, and the Good Wine team, of course. We invited different celebrities and influencers in fashion and art, and we communicated this to different audiences. It didn't actually cost us anything. It was about time and efforts. And Good Wine set a goal for us, because their dream was to get a publication in Monaco. That's the media they focused on. And if you don't know, Monocle, it's a lifestyle publication. It's probably the most popular in the world, with their shops and collaborations. And they never wrote about Ukrainian businesses, especially about festivals. It's just about commerce. It's a commercial story. When you approach a media with classical event and everybody wants money. So we approached guy who just wanted to go to Kiev, because he was interested about going to Kiev, because mostly they write about Danish companies and Italian businesses, and it's Kiev. It's just the biggest wine festival. So we invited him to Kiev, and he was everywhere with a chef's dinner, dinner with local food. So we pitched different journalists, and we walked him around. We did a publication, and we did a separate podcast about our festival. We also wanted to promote the dinner. There were some smaller local media that write articles about local events, Harper's Bazaar, Vogue as well, and media outlets who write about different art events. And after that, we had more than 100 publications of different size, and we didn't pay a cent, because our job as a PR agency is to do our job to make sure the client pays for our job, not for anything that other people do. So let's talk about why do we need PR. I actually failed to mention PR kits, because we did PR kits separately with merchandise and with tickets for the festival. We send it out to different influencers we haven't reached out to before, and we were so happy with the results. So why do we need PR? Yes, we all have favorite businesses. Sometimes they are small, medium, larger, and they can sell products to us or services. We can use these products or services because we just used to it, or maybe they're just close to us, they're across the road. And we don't just use products like products and services like services. And now when we talk about new businesses, we think what is interesting about them and what stories they tell about them. Do they produce a wow effect, or like sometimes you just think to yourself, Why it's not me? Why didn't I came up with this idea? So what PR does, it makes you well known. That's what it's about. Of course, they don't just make you famous, they make you famous in a good sense, because as we remember, PR is responsible for your reputation. And what I'm talking about is when you Google not just a random bag, you want a specific brand. And PR makes you stand out. It used to be based on good products or services. I think that if they keep doing that today, it would be so boring. It's not just about that. It's about emotions, it's about communication emotions. And we're so spoiled. There's a lot going on around us. And unfortunately, it's not just enough to make a good coffee in your coffee shop or a cafe. PR is built on long-term relations. That's our job. You know, what's special about PR is when they prepare for something for quite a while, but then it just goes fast. Maybe the effect that you'll see will be after a year or 6 months, because it's different from advertising. Advertising works immediately and PR works long term. Think about it as an investment in the future, because in 6 months from now you'll feel how it worked, and also it builds a community around you. That's one of its main tasks, because what PR does, it attracts the right people with the right initiatives. No other communication tool can build a proper community that will work with your business. And you do it through collaborations, through different social initiatives, social responsibility campaigns and partnerships. I think we will move through this section pretty fast to talk about specific examples, but let's talk about it. When we talk about smaller enterprises, small businesses, what do we mean by that? There is a definition in the law, in Ukrainian law, like small enterprises is enterprises containing 100 up to 150,000 people. So, to put it short, never before we paid so much attention to smaller enterprises. Forbes published a rating of 200 of top 250 businesses. And 5 years ago, we only read articles about bankers, about big enterprises, and we never thought that they will do an article about us. Today it's a reality. And it's very unique opportunity for everyone. And what we want to tell with this slide is it's a relay trend. That's our way. And knowing how to pitch yourself is the key, because the media is open for it. We like numbers, and here are some statistics for you. Throughout the previous year, 202,000 new entrepreneurs were registered in Ukraine. And of course, lots of them were opened by women for well-known reasons. The point is, we need to be able to create. And the media are open for it. There are some challenges faced by enterprises and entrepreneurs. I won't name them all. You know what I'm talking about. You've heard about it, you've experienced that. But there are projects like Vlasna, Sprava and grant programs that support businesses. And they help them overcome such challenges. What we also notice when we talk about PR campaigns to people who are not involved in this every day, there are lots of different myths and misconceptions about what a PR campaign is and why do we need it. And the biggest myth is it's expensive. If you look at the essence of PR is one of the cheapest tools out of all marketing tools. It's a lot cheaper than advertising, especially direct advertising. And also, advertising works immediately while you pay for it. A PR campaign gives you a long-term result, and it costs you cheaper, because if you come up with good stories, if you have a good cause, if it really solves people's issues and makes the world a better place, just trust me, media influencers will want to associate with you. Another myth, a good product doesn't need PR. Actually, it's not the case. Any product needs at least a minimum push, because there are lots of products and services out there. You can get lost in it, so doing nothing is not an option. There's a reverse side of it. A PR campaign cannot make a bad product good, so you need to find a good balance. You need to work on your product, on your service, and then add proper communications on top of it. Another myth, PR is the same as advertising. Actually, PR has advertising tasks, because advertising sells, but public relations campaign informs, and it works long term. As Nastya said, advertising stops as long as you stop paying for it, but PR is different. Advertising comes up with benefits, describes benefits, but people don't really trust it. With PR, it's very hard to predict the result, but PR campaigns really work long term, and it costs less. Another myth, PR campaigns are intended only for larger companies. SMBs don't need that. That's actually a myth, and we keep saying that PR is one of the cheapest tools on the market. It's important because it creates your image. It creates the right myth around your project. And it's the only tool that can do that. And it's not dependent on the size, because you need to grow anyway. We had a case. We will have small section of case studies. SMBs that we like, and we will tell you why. The first one is an example from our practice. There is a cafe called Maria. It's located on Pavlivska Street next to the Golden Gate in Kiev. And it was launched by 3 friends who had some experience in the restaurant business before. The project itself has a really cool story. And it's a part of their PR campaign, because storytelling is a great part of PR, good PR. One of the co-founders of this cafe, Alex, made breakfast for his girlfriend Maria, and he created an Instagram page where he just posted pictures with these breakfasts. It was such a cute love story that laid the foundation to a storytelling. This is why the cafe is called Maria, and they have lots of different different dishes in the menu, the food that he cooked for his girlfriend. And they did it. They made food for people living nearby, and they wanted the locals living in the central neighborhood, the Golden Gate district. They didn't want them to be lazy. So, but you can't just create an Instagram page and wait until you're flooded with money. We did a complex approach, and this is what Zhenya talked about. PR is a set of tools. It's never something single or single tool. So this is why we used a couple of them. The first we did is we worked with media. We created press releases. We did a nice story about the cafe, about how it's going to look like, and we sent it to different media.
Oh, sorry, I basically ran through the entire presentation so quickly. So other than doing publicity, we created PR kits. We selected 50 influencers for that. The PR kit was a basket where some foods were collected. Then there was a recipe with the QR code, with the link to a video where Sashko is preparing this dish. And that's the kind of story that we sent out to influencers, and it's a great thing. It would seem like you could just open the door and make a minimum letter sent out, but you could do a little bit more, and it's not so much so big an investment, but such a great result. And one more thing, most importantly, we before we opened, we created a test dinners. So there were for 2 days tasting dinners where influencers were coming over, friends of friends. Everybody started posting on the social, and so that raised a lot of attention to that. So that's what we're talking about, and if we say enough complexity, but you can always make your projects a bit more interesting, and it doesn't require too much of investment. You just need your wish, your genuine motivation, and the right people around you for that. Yeah, so it's a mix of tools. We created the press. That's our direct thing, PR, classic PR. We work with influencers. We sent them all PR kits, and we invited a number of influencers and friends just for our dinner, where everybody could taste our menu and share the story. And the first weekends for the cafe were the most successful, I remember. So next example. Next example, I think you know about this project. You've heard about it. It's Gunya project. It's a brand of exclusive things. They have quite a large line of products: ceramics, aroma, clothes, accessories, and it's a great pool of things. And we like the niche that they've created. They were one of the first to do it. And why is this case such an exemplary case for us? Because it's a business that from the get-go they understood that you have to do PR properly and you have to do communications properly. So that's why everything that they had going is full of content, because there's always something happening. One day they are launching this new collection, then they come up with another interesting initiative, then next day they did some incredibly great presentations somewhere. All of that is very content rich. Most importantly, other than just delivering a product, they are doing communication well. Both visual content is great. If you see their brand pages, you see how greatly they pay so much attention to content in different social networks, as well as TikTok, that is still quite new for Ukrainian businesses. How they work with the media quite actively. Just recently there was a Vogue cover where, as you can see, the special art piece from Gunya. They work with influencers. Those influencers are different. They're Kylie Jenner and even the Pope. And they keep inventing these new info events, info spots. They made a collection dedicated to Scythian gold, a return to Ukraine, and an incredible book, which looks like a piece of art, and it's a real art book. It's called Ukraine and Ukrainians. It's a great example where people understand from the get-go that communication is very important. And then here's the last example. You see how classic catering looks like. It's always a finger food on transparent dishes. There's an alternative where there's a chef behind the catering with the chef's vision, creating an alternative. Their finger food doesn't look like default finger food. They make it something individual. It's not our customer, it's just the catering that we cooperate with. But because they communicate differently. They do small tasting sessions for IT companies, and they make this unique dinner for other companies, and so they touch other audiences. So we work 3 times already because they offer alternatives and they communicate through other methods. It's also a great way that is worth remembering. It's important to know you will be successful if you take classic PR tool and some of the new tools. Publishing on the press, working with the media, pitching of influencers, just sending them your product. Find those influencers whom you're relevant to, who will love your product or the service that you create. Find the press and the media, those who are interested in your product. Go buy PR kits, creative ways to package your product so that it's with the wow unpackaging. Tell a different story. Do some collaboration with the brand that will strengthen you and themselves. Do some interesting social initiatives. Invent a product that is about you, that is great for you to collaborate and then do it. The more info cases you do, the more systemic your communication, the more regular you talk about yourself for different audiences, then you will see after a while your reputation makes a difference, makes you special. But let me add, yeah, it's the most important that if you don't make it special, nobody else will make it special. That's why we encourage you to work. So we work with so many companies and we know the problems of those companies. We absolutely have to tell you that. So before you do PR, get things in order the way you already have them. If you have Instagram Direct and it works, but you're doing it on your own. Your customer support delays the answer for half a day. Just make some order in that. Hire a new direct manager. Write some guides for them. So just do better what you already do. If you have some returns, do them quickly. If it takes for you longer to respond, do it quicker. If you have an offline space and so they can sell it. They care about the space. So that everyone who's with you feel that you're special. If you have client base, that's the easiest thing to analyze. And it's easier for you to sell to them than to find new customers. Do some small event for them. Invite them for some special dinner. So do something that you already have, with what you already have. Analyze who's buying from you, how to target them now, why do they come back to you or don't come back to you, and if does the story work for you that 80% of the turnover is generated by those 20% of customers, or vice versa. Analyze your content and how the socials respond to it. In the world, there's tons of content generated, but nobody sees it, and it's nothing new. Just create content all the time and make it better than everybody else. What works for you, what doesn't work for you, understand it. Understand your targeting. With the AI, you can analyze what's good for what's not good for your audience. Do these small steps before. So create some order with what you already have, what you already work with every day. We, with Nastya, for our own businesses, we love advisory format. If you have questions in Target, in HR, in whatever, we hire consultants who understand this better than us, and it works. Those 2 hours, 1.5 hours, they are priceless. They will move you three steps ahead. If you don't know CEOs, non-stop learning. Buy some courses because nobody else will do it for you. And also analyze best practices. Look at what everybody's doing or some other people's doing. Do something better. Because we're all learning from each other. And most importantly, do something, try some new things. because you can't find something new if you're always walking the same paths. So try new things, experiment, have faith in yourself, use PR, use communication, and you'll do it. Thanks a lot. Thanks. Those were Public Kitchen, Anastasia and Eugenia. And this basically exhausts our stage program, but the program is going on. And when I was trying to get people from lunch back to here, I promised you networking. There will be some refreshments for you available, and for you to network, to talk, to create collaborations. As Eugene said last year, he was looking at the stage and thinking, I want to be at the stage. So I don't know if I will be on the stage next week, but that's not important. But I would suggest you meet in a year from now and share some successes from now on. Thank you so much and have a great day.